Namaskar. Welcome to this edition of the News Bulletin. In view of the prevalent COVID conditions, you are requested to adhere to the COVID-appropriate behaviors like wearing masks properly, washing hands frequently, maintaining social distancing, and avoiding crowded places. Now the news headlines. Anti-hijack mock exercise held at Rourkela Airport of SAIL RSP. Winners of quiz competition on COVID awareness awarded at SAIL RSP. And in our Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav series, today's personality is Satyanarayan Bohida. Now the news in detail. An anti-hijack mock exercise was organized at Rourkela Airport of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant on 1st December 2021. Mr. Divya Jyoti Parida, ADM Rourkela and Commissioner, Rourkela Municipal Corporation chaired the Airport Security Committee meeting and witnessed the whole exercise. Mr. P.K. Dash, GM in charge Town Services, RSP, Mr. S.S. Bhoi, Additional Commissioner RMC, Mr. B.K. Bhoi, Additional SP Rourkela, other senior officers of District Administration, District Police, Central Industrial Security Force, Airport Authority of India, IOCL, Intelligence Bureau, BSNL and RSP were present in the session. Notably, the exercise was to check the efficacy of the contingency plan and the procedure to deal with any case of hijacking threat involving the airport. The exercise was in accordance with the circular issued by Bureau of Civil Aviation Security. The mock drill involved personnel from state police including bomb squad and commandos, fire service teams of RSP and Orissa government, medical team of IGH and different other government agencies. All the teams worked in close coordination enacting the successful rescue operation of the hijacked plane. A debriefing session was held and the whole exercise was reviewed by the senior officers led by Mr. Parida after the completion of the mock drill. Earlier, Mr. B.K. Rod, GM and Airport Director welcomed the gathering and presented a brief about the importance of the entire exercise. Mr. Hemant Kumar, Manager, AAI, made an elaborate presentation on the standard operating practice to deal with many scenarios arising out of any unlawful activities of hijacking of plane. He eloquently presented details about the contingency plan to handle such scenario with integrated response system. Mr. B.K. Roth coordinated the entire event and also proposed a formal vote of thanks at the end of the mock drill. The Personnel Department of SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant has been taking proactive actions to curb the inroad of the anticipated third wave of COVID-19 pandemic. It has been conducting several employee engagement programs with an objective to create awareness about COVID-19 pandemic so that the employees can deal with any exigencies arising from the possible third wave armed with more information and insight. On 27 November 2021, a prize distribution ceremony was organized at ED Projects Conference Hall to felicitate the winners of quiz competition held earlier. Mr. A.K. Pradhan, ED Projects, presided over the function and handed over the prizes. Present on the occasion were Mr. P.K. Sahu, CGM Projects, Mr. A.N. Mishra, CGM Projects, Mr. Dhirendra Mishra, GM in charge, Personal Works, Mr. Sanjay Mehrotra, GM Personal, and other senior officers and employees of RSP. The first position was bagged by the team comprising Mr. Santosh Kumar Das, OCT HSM2 and Mr. Jagannath Jena, OCT of HSM1. The second position was held by the team comprising Mr. Gyanish Kumar Naik, MOMT and Mr. Jitendra Nath Pandey, MOMT, both of SMS2, while the third position went to the team comprising Mr. Ayeshkanta Sahu, OCT of CP2 and Mr. Rakesh Kumar Mohapatra of Roll Shop Department. The first consolation prize was won by the team comprising Mr. Santanu Kumar Mohanty, Senior Executive Assistant and Mr. Premananda Swine, Physiotherapist of MNHS Department. The second consolation prize went to by Mr. Prasad Kumar Bhutia, OCT, and Mr. Santosh Kumar Ray, OCT, while the third consolation prize was bagged by Mr. Rajiv Dash, Operator, and Mr. Vijay Kumar Panda, Operator all from our blast furnace department. In all, 24 participants contested in 12 teams in the quiz conducted on the theme of COVID-19. The award winners were given certificates and prize money. The quiz masters were Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Behra, Manager Personnel, Ms. Simpi Patel, Assistant Manager Personnel, and Ms. Shubhra Rajeshwari, Assistant Manager Personnel. The quiz masters were also felicitated in the award function by ED Projects. The function was coordinated by Mr. Sanjeev Kumar Behra, Manager Personnel. As a part of the Azadi Ka Mahamrit Mahotsav celebration, SAIL Rourkela Steel Plant is presenting a series of news on the eminent personalities of Orissa, some well-known and some lesser known. Today's personality is Satya Narayan Bohidar. Born on 1st August 1913 at Sonpur town of Orissa, Satya Narayan Bohidar was known as the pioneer of Sambalpuri language and grammar. His formative and creative years were spent in Sambalpur and produced a good number of literary translations and biographies. Fighting against all odds, Sri Bohidar was successful in preparing the dictionary and grammar specially in Sambalpuri language, which provided a significant identity to it. He is the author of Kosali Bhashakosh. His works also include Tik Chanhara, 1975, Ghao Ghavo, Ghuf Kudu, and many more. He wrote all these books in Koshali and Sambalpuri language, besides many poems. One can sense patriotism and love for Sambalpuri culture in his poems, said Bhoi. Satya Narayan Bohidar left a great legacy behind him to influence the future generations. He breathed his last on 13 December 1980. That's all for today's news. Namaskar.